Because I was not a member of the board at that time period, so basically it is due to being candidate. And I remember that you could technically, unless you want to turn the meeting over to me for this point, then I can preside over the agenda item moving forward.
I'm going to pass it over to you.
Okay.
And we're going to move forward with the January 22nd.
And it also shows that the chair of the committee was passed over to Scott Johnson at 6:07 p.m. for agenda item number 3. So I would ask for the record, I was not part of the land use committee at that time period. The 2 people present who were a part of the committee are here tonight, and Angelica Duarte and Jorge Garcia. So at this time period, if we haven't done so already, go ahead and review. We get a first and second on moving forward with the review of the minutes. Okay, get a second.
Second.
Okay. Go ahead. We could go ahead and any public comment on the issue, first of all? Being that there's none, let's go ahead and review the documentation. And then we open to board discussion.
I will read the information to the board.
I mean, a long time, so.
Okay. Any discussion from board members on minutes?
I don't have
Okay. Mr. Garcia?
No.
Okay. Anybody want to call for a question?
I'll call for the question.
Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes as stated, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Abstention? I will be abstaining. The minutes of January 22nd, 2013 passed 201. Okay. At this time period, Mr. Duarte, would you like to reassume the chair? Okay, we'll note that after at 6:09 p.m. Mr. Duarte reassumed being presiding officer for this meeting today.
So we're going to go to agenda number 5, and the Soda Bridge, regarding the Soda Bridge update. Is there any update that we have in regards to the Soda Bridge? What you wanted to present?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Any public comment in regards to the Soda Bridge or information that you'd like to present regarding the Soda Bridge?
No, nothing different from what was shared at the last LW meeting.
When is the next meeting? Is there out there
They're hoping sometime beginning of next year. So it depends. We're trying to work out that schedule with the contracting company. We should have word soon.
So that's 5AI, and Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, can we move on to 5A2, or do we have to vote on this?
No, there's no, it's a possible action, so no action is taken, we just move on.
So let's move on to 5A2, and we'll go to Mark. I need you present to give us an update.
Yeah, so in terms of Elephant Hill, still no new update from the last land use meeting. We're still waiting on signatures from the mayor's office and city attorney's office to sign on this. Don't know why it's taking so long, but we're still waiting for that. And I know at the last meeting, Mr. Scott Johnson asked about the group. So the group is Save Elephant Hill, that is led by Elba Yanez. So again, it's just a group that, got together, just like the same, the group, that got together with, in regards to the Eastern and Lombardi, same way. So I know it's Elba Yanez who is the, you could say the leader, you could say of that specific group. So I know they have a website called saveelephanthills.blogspot.com.
And, committee, any questions regarding Elephant Hill?
No, I think that answers my question from last time regarding composition in community groups, informal or formal. So I thank you for the response on that. And I just so when you said the document, so the final transfer of property per se between the city and Santa Monica Mountain Conservancy still has not been finalized.
It's not been finalized yet. We're just waiting on those 2 signatures from those 2 offices.
Okay. That's good. Thank you for the response on that.
No problem.
I mean, actually, you've been one of the first people to actually follow through on getting that information, so I really appreciate that.
So we're going to move on to, is there any public comment regarding the Elephant Hill? We're going to move to item 583, and update on hazard parking in the city.
No specific update in terms of, I know we're hoping to hear a response from USC soon. They're talked about a proposed alternate to what they had originally proposed, but again, the request was, okay, go back to the community and talk that out. So again, we're waiting on another series of meetings with the community to discuss that. So once we get word, we will definitely inform the community.
Scott, what is there anything to add on that?
Actually, I have, for the record here, I was at the Boyle Heights Transportation, it was been a lot of event meeting, it was at the Boyle Heights NC full board meeting, and last night was at the Boyle Heights Transportation Environment Committee meeting. This is the diagram here of the new proposal, just make sure I know directions here, east, west. So this is the diagram here. Basically, USC has done is taken the park, there's the proposed street extension, and moved it to the north onto their property. So it takes it completely out of the park. For most part, have been preached to that fact. Comments made at the Boyle Heights NC meeting last night were still questioning traffic issues, traffic mitigation issues in that area. Because now, if you put a third street with stoplight in between Lancaster, Norfolk, and Zono, it potentially could create a complexing traffic situation. And so, I know last night the Boyle Heights NC committee chose to study it more. I also know today there was a meeting pertaining to the student hotel.
It was in reference to parking.
Right.
So I know USC had requested 260, in total 260 parking spaces. However, out of those 260, the committee decided that 130 will be open versus metered parking. So then that helps alleviate the concern with parking and metered and allowing the community to park. So those 260, 130 of them will be, as they like to call them, shared parking spaces.
Okay, so did they decide where those spaces will be allocated to?
I don't have that information, but I could follow up for the next land use committee meeting in terms of what those spaces are, where they look, where they. I don't have specifics, but in terms of just the general, that's what was voted on, discussed today.
Right. I do know that Ray Rios from Hillside is open to the meeting today, and I know they're actually meeting right now concurrently.
Yeah, they're concurrently.
Right. So actually, if Madam Chair, we kind of, if we're getting most of the information we need, we can move forward. We might be able to kind of piggyback off their meeting a little later too.
Okay. Any additional comments to item 583 from the committee?
No, once again, it's, things are moving along, and so we'll just take it as it goes slow. You know, as we get into holiday season, especially around after Thanksgiving, things kind of get slowed a little bit after New Year's.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to item 6A. And there's no cases to report that appeals have filed, any appeals filed. So we're going to move on to 6A2, and this is where it comes to the recycling information. So Mr. Carlos, you can please.
So, good afternoon. My name is Carlos. I'm the gentleman that operates the recycling center on 5540 Alhambra Avenue. And what I'm asking with this is just simply for a letter of support, because I'm going to have a hearing since I applied for a conditional use permit. And, you know, pretty much that's it.
I think the question that I have on this is just to find out in regards to how the community feels about the project or recycling center around that area. And so is there any, I know you haven't done any outreach yet, so really you don't have a feel in regards to how the community, the residents that are next to it feel about the recycling center. And that's important to us that is definitely done, and we're also going to meet with them. So that was just a concern. Is there anybody in the committee that may have any questions regarding this project?
My own thought is maybe, generally, I know this applicant's been there because, you know, I think I've had a few friends that partaken in your business, trying to take stuff in. But I asked Rob, what I'd like to do is be consistent with most of these projects, is to do maybe a radius of 1,000 feet, basically residents, and let them know, kind of a little survey parts. And I know the law says basically 500 feet, especially when it goes to planning committee, but, you know, kind of like, we ran into this in the past where 500 sometimes doesn't, if you do 1,000, it shows that the community was heard in the sense of you're not coming back here a year from now, and people are coming in here going, well, we didn't know this was going on, and all that sort of stuff. Have you had a chance to let the surrounding community know what is going on? Is there any notification posted on your property?
Not yet. I'm pretty sure the city will send me the information and the posters once, you know, the hearing's coming up. I don't know if it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I do not know. Now, this is, again, just a letter of recommendation. It's just preliminary. So I do not even know what the next steps are. This is the first time I actually applied for a conditional use permit in the city of LA. Now, the fact that I've been in business in this particular location for over 4 years, I'm 100% sure that the neighbors know who I am and what I do. And so far, I have not received a single complaint from noise or any sort of trash, you know, left at the place or anything. So, in the contrary, most of my neighbors support me. Now, I don't have, again, the closest house I have, I would say, is about 80 feet away. The rest are commercial and industrial area. So, pretty much I will count, and based on the documents I send her, I think there are about 40 or 50 houses that land into the 500 radius. So, feet radius. So, other than that, and I know them because I live on Dorchester. So, pretty much, I know that they're going to support me. So, but like Angelica mentioned, I think it'll be a great idea for me to actually go out there and let them know what I'm doing, and maybe, I don't know, have them give me or a petition or some sort of document that, you know, that they'll back it up, not just, you know, verbally, but in paper.
Yeah, I'm a little lost. What are you? Who's asking you to do what? I'm not sure what you're asking. This support for? I mean, is it changing your business? Is it changing from before?
No. The thing is that I opened up the recycling center without the legitimate license to operate the recycling center, and just a business license. I started with the license from Sacramento that allows me to buy the material, right, and resell it. Now, I did that because I knew that the conditional use permit was going to cost me over $20,000. And back then, I didn't have the funds.
Right.
Now, after 4 years, I was able to raise the money and get the money, and now, you know, I'm capable of applying for the permit. That way, the business is legitimate and the.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So, and like I said, the fact that my neighbors haven't complained, I think that's going to helped me out tremendously.
And if you don't get the use, you shut down or something, or what is it?
I do not know, because the planning, they haven't given me, well, all I know, like I was telling Angelica, that if it gets approved, well, good. But if it doesn't get approved, I lose my money. So it's a 50-50.
Oh, okay.
And it's not, it wasn't $5,000, it was close to 20, with fees and everything, it was close to $20-something thousand. So to lose $20-something thousand into the economy, it's kind of tough, and that's why it took me a while to get this money, so.
Okay, well, based on my information, I think it would be a good idea to really, when you come back in and you're building your documentation for the final permit, is to go back and align with the neighborhoods around the area, or petition, and so that way you would be able to show not only us, but the people who have to make the real decision, planning commission, that you have to come to the area, there was a petition, maps, such, like the planning, often have the FEMA maps, that shows your property, your surrounding properties and all that, and that way you match, match property, the names and so forth. That would help you to move forward. I understand that 20,000 is, just the fact that you're having to invest that much to get that permit. I mean, top to right properties.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add in regards to this? Have you heard anything from the community?
No, nothing at all. I mean, no concerns or anything. He's actually here because he contacted our office and our planning deputy, Kevin Cubillo. And again, like any proposed project, anything that comes on board, we always ask the owner or the developer to come to the neighborhood council. So that's why he's here. And the fact that, he's a member of the community that has a business as well. We see that as a good thing, investing back. So, in terms of the planning aspect, again, we're leaving it through the process, and that's why he's here to get past that.
Thank you. I have a recommendation to make. Is there anyone else from the committee? Do you have anything else to add on this subject? I have just one recommendation to ask, is that you do more outreach and you do those petitions and you go to those neighbors that are within that 1,000 feet. And then if you can come back to life with that petition, then we'll be more comfortable to be able to know that the community is not having any concerns or complaints in regards to this project, to the recycling center. That is something I recommend. Do I need to vote on this too?
I have a question. When's your printer next?
It's not scheduled.
Oh, not.
I'm not scheduled for anything practically, so I just wanted to, to get ahead,
So you're gonna apply for it, just haven't
Yeah,
heard
I
back.
consider that. Yeah, having, and again, it could take, like I mentioned already, it could take you anywhere between 6 months up to a year.
Just be proactive this time.
And he has a lot invested into it. It's his best interest to be able to make sure that that area is completely supporting your project. So when you go to the hearing, that's where you're going to hear it. So I really suggest, that's my recommendation to you, and you can always put your back on the agenda next month. If you have those petitions with a signature, let me know, and then I can add you onto the agenda to bring it up.
Fantastic. I think you can count on it. Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much for
Thank you guys for
reviewing this. Okay, we're going to move on to item 6A3, and this goes to the reconfiguration on Chadwick. Is it Chadwick Circle? Chadwick Circle and the Field Circle. Circle and then Field Drive. Circle.
Hi, my name is Andrew Montalegre. This is Matt Holland. I am a retired 30-year member of the planning department, and also I went to Wilson Elementary School, middle school when it was Wilson on Easter. All the stuff the neighbors coming back to. But Matt built my house about 3.5, 4 years ago, and at the same time he was building his house on Chadwick. So Matt owns a couple of lots on Chadwick, the Chadwick Museum. He's had them for a while, and now that the market's changed, he decided to explore doing something on them. We looked at these issues 5 years ago. 5 years ago, and he built his house while he was building mine, and then the market dropped out, so everything lay fallow for a while. So now that the market's changed, the same issues are coming up, and what I'm looking for today is just to introduce the committee to this potential project, to get some direction from the committee, to get some feedback, because the lot lines on these can go in all kinds of directions, and we may have to file to reconfigure the lot lines. And also there's an issue on Linfield Drive, which is, I think, desperately needs attention. And however this project turns out may provide a solution to a serious issue on Linfield. So I have all the pictures that I took way back 4 or 5 years ago, and we got them out.
You guys save money downstairs in your office for that?
Oh, we don't, it doesn't connect down there. It's a dead zone. Wi-Fi, phone service. Yeah, it is.
So, this is, interrupt me anytime, so. This is Chadwick Circle up here. This is the lot where Matt built his house. This is Linfield Drive. Circle, sorry. And here it is in aerial. And you can see the dotted lot lines and the solid lot lines. So Matt owns by himself and with partnership most of these lots.
Yeah, I'll run the second one.
Here are the Zemus map perspective. These actually go together, and they're a little bit out of order, but this is the area. There are 19 lots here that have a lot area of less than 5,000 square feet. Here are the 19 lots, and so within this area, the square footage is here, 44, 44, 45, so here's one at 28. I was looking at patterns, again this was 4 years ago, to see what projects can be developed and what kind of land use pattern, and I found that, there's I would say maybe that's 30–40% of lots are not conforming to the R1 zoning standards, in order to see which way this could go. That's not coming out very well, but this is Linfield, and what I wanted to show in these pictures is that Linfield has sidewalks, curbs, gutters, street lights. It's got sewers, but no houses. No, it doesn't have driveways. It's got houses above, but there's no activity on the street. There's no cars going by. There's no people living here, but yeah, but it's a magnet. It's a magnet, and Matt would tell me stories about sitting on his balcony, about people dumping stuff and shooting guns into the street. But there's sewer lines and there's sidewalks, and street lights. But there's one house that has a driveway, and there's a stairway, but there's no life on the street. This is the lower half, and this is the other house that's on the street. This is from above, from Chadwick, looking down below to Linfield. And I think that's the outline of a car that was set on fire.
I think so,
Yeah. And this is from Linfield looking up. It's lifeless, but there's plenty of infrastructure. Yeah, I'm lost. This picture was taken like 5 years ago, and memory's not coming back to where all they were. I think this is from above from Chadwick Circle.
That's from Chadwick looking towards,
Grande.
towards what?
Catalandia.
Exactly.
The party.
That's the-
Oh, that's,
And that's Crescent Hill right there on Hardy.
That's around and stuff, whatever it is.
That's right across the valley, Martin down the valley.
So these were the potential, okay, I'm going backwards here now. Potential building sites. This is from Chadwick looking down, and that is your house, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, when it was under construction. This is one idea of how to reconfigure the lot lines that would get activity on Linfield and Chadwick, is to split them. And you get 4,500 square foot lot here and 4,500 square foot lot, which would not be out of character with the street, with the pattern of the neighborhood. Okay, I'm going back to the original map, but that's what we're looking at. That's what we're discussing. We think we can do 4 lots, but there were originally 5 in the county tax assessor, so there's an issue there between the difference between the city's records and the county tax assessors. And then there are all these dotted lines, which are potentially other cuts. But before we do anything, as I said, well, Matt, we need to go to the neighborhood council, see what the feedback is on this. And I wanted to explain, when I first saw Linfield many, many years ago, and I thought, well, this street is, it needs help. It needs activity. It needs life. So I don't know if it'll ever get there, but the market has turned around again, and now it's there's an opportunity to build there, and there are different ways to configure this. So before we did anything, I said to Matt, let's come here tonight. Let's see what kind of feedback we get. See if anyone has any ideas on it, and we were discussing tonight at McDonald's. Any idea what the single-family dwelling goes for now in the area? Because this is pretty close to the budget, and I'm doing this as a favor to Matt. Matt is just a one-person shop, so there's no there's no research budget. There's no money to really get into this. So what is the single-family dwelling go for?
I have a real estate license, and the market in this particular area, brand new, I would say between 375 and 420.
Okay.
Brand new.
Brand new, yeah.
So, because the current houses that are on the market, they'll go for 225, 275, and that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
You were talking about 20,000. We were figuring at least 20,000 to just apply for the parcel map or something for this. And spread over the cost of 4 or 5 or 10 houses, it's not so bad, but spread over 4, well, plus the carrying cost, the property tax and the loans on that.
Scott, do you have anything to add?
So if I'm looking, so the lots that were in question, that we're looking at, the 4 or 5 lots, right here, right? Okay. Okay, so from that little light passageway to the right, okay, now moving to the left. That little cursor over to the left. How far are we going over? Where your cursor is at, keep going to the left. How far over?
I mean, yeah, where's the stop?
Right. So where's your amount from the,
boundaries.
so about right in there? Okay.
I'm sorry.
So the lots, how many lots are we talking about in here where the cursor's at? From the
Well,
right
that's the question. The city's records and the county's records are not consistent.
Okay, so what's the area you're looking at?
Yeah, so we're looking sidewise, the land that we're talking about right now, not so much the lot, but just the land in question. We're coming over from
So
here.
The city recognizes this salt waters as the parcel map.
Right. So where's the stop? How much do you own? How much land is it that we're talking about right now?
This lot here, this lot here, this lot here, and this portion of this lot here.
So if we're talking about, from what I'm gathering, we're talking about doing like a half halfway with half the lots going up towards Chadwick Circle and then half coming down towards Linfield.
Yeah, you just.
So basically, you kind of take an imaginary dotted line going around the contour in the middle there,
You
in
just-
between the two streets.
Yeah, you just split these concentric circles and you end up with one upslope lot and one downslope lot. So topography, elevation wise, this is higher than this.
Right. And does that have any conflict with the ICL, the area control ordinance, hillside ordinance?
It's not the IC1 anymore,
It's a Q condition, a D condition, and yes, likely a variance is going to have to be applied because there's deep lots and intuitively I'm 1,100 square feet, plus maybe, but without analysis of slope bands, we can't tell for sure. That's another factor that has to be factored in, cost that has to be factored in, and doing the slope band analysis to see how big a house you can build. But I'm guessing you're going to need a variance to go for this because 1,100 square foot lot,
Yeah.
Now, if you
flood
flip,
house,
if the lots are split, the sewer lines will all go to Linfield, right? Because it's, I mean, you can't go gravity, I mean, how you gonna, right? Go down towards Linfield, all the sewer lines for those houses that you build.
Right.
Okay.
And the sewer, when in the picture, it looked like they were all going down.
Okay.
Was yours?
So,
There's, actually, addressing that specific question, there's laterals on several of the parcels. They're just kind of haphazardly installed on both Chadwick and Linfield. So we could essentially use a sewer ejection system to get up to Chadwick or use just a gravity.
is there like already gas lines on that area too, and water lines going through there?
Yeah, because I did the white is the walk street.
Right.
And just to the right of it, from our perspective, is the house that we built. And that's got a gas line, as does 7 lots to the left, as you kind of go around this way. So, yeah.
Now, I know that area because I live on the Barney side. Those are small streets, parking wise, what are you looking at to make sure that there's enough parking for everybody that's on that street if it's built?
Sure, yeah, there's no parking on the outside of Chadwick Circle or the bottom as we're looking at it. Majority of the parking, the street parking is
For the inside of
on the smaller radius. And then off-street parking, of course, whatever the city required parking will be. 2 off-street.